Hi, Kaya. Congratulations on Trick.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah.
And so, could you prepare briefly? How did you get on board the project?
How did I get on board? So I'm represented by artists and representatives. They are based in New York City and LA. They sent me over the sides while I was like in the midst of a show, and I had to quickly put myself on tape for it because I was going to school in Chicago. My tapes were sent over to New York. Never actually got to go in person, which sucks. I heard the casting is amazing, but I sent in my tape and a couple of days later, I heard that I was being offered a part, which is exciting because it was my first feature, and I'm here now. So yeah, I read the script, and it definitely kept me on my toes, and gave me the same kind of feeling that I expect stories in general and storytelling to give me. So that was exciting, and yeah, I immediately was like, yes, please. When can I leave? Now. Thank you.
What is your character in this first feature film of yours?
Her name is Nikki. Yes, yes, Nikki. Nikki is Cheryl's best friend. Cheryl is the one closest related to the heinous acts and the crime that's being investigated in the film. And Nikki, plays her best friend, holds her accountable for a lot of the things that are going on and is still a motherly figure to these two wonderful children that are her siblings. But still also not wanting to miss any beats and like involving herself, basically putting her family in danger, but risking it all to be right there next to Cheryl.
I'll
Yeah.
let you go. Since this is Halloween, the month of scares, what scares you? What are your phobias?
Ooh, my phobias. It used to be darkness. Yeah. But I think my phobias. Getting stuck in an elevator for too long. Um, being like just totally paralyzed and dying that way.
Well, Todd Farmer and I wrote the script, and so we wrote it specifically to be this, layer of mayhem that you have seen or will see or will hopefully see. It was something that we wanted after Valentine to do another slasher film because we're settled as train wrecks, and thought why do a gentle comedy or something like that when we could do something that's just as stabby as possible.
I saw the trailer. So can you talk a bit about the design for the mask for the serial killer?
Yeah, all the designs for the mask and for the makeup were done by Gary Tunnicliffe, who I've worked with since Dracula 2000, over and over again. Gary's brilliant, and we just kept talking about different masks and different things we want to do. There's particularly a two-faced mask in it. The pumpkin mask has two faces, so which you discover in the first scene. So it's not a spoiler or anything, but it's that was something that Gary and I worked on and sort of explaining part of the within the beginning. There's all sorts of reveals about the character, but you have to look closely for it. All the other masks Gary came up with, and we just talked about a whole bunch of different versions. Same with the makeups. We did a lot of tests and stuff, but Gary's brilliant and is my murder muse.
Thank you.
I remember when Paranormal Activity comes out, there's like a trend of found footage horror film, and then there's a 3D trend of horror film. So, what do you think is the next big thing in the horror genre?
I think the next big thing in the horror genre we won't know until it actually happens, and as somebody says, this is what it is. I think it everything changes. It's a fluid, moving feast constantly of what is what and what scares people. To try and predict it is like trying to predict the weather. You have no idea where the blood's going to rain from, but it will.
Last question, sir. I've been a big fan of Drive Angry. When is the sequel coming out?
Oh my God! I love that you're a fan of Drive Angry. I don't know if there will ever be a sequel to Drive Angry, but I would so be down with doing the Adventures of the Accountant any day of the week. Yeah, I love that movie, even though it didn't really find an audience. But certainly Nick and Amber and Bill Fichtner and Billy Burke and Tom Atkins, who we have back in Trick. We're all a joy to work with, and I would work on that again in a heartbeat.
Omar, congratulations on Trick.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So, what made you want to be a part of this project?
Well, first of all, I read the script. I thought the script was great. And then second, the opportunity to work with Patrick again. We worked together years ago, and I think he's a great director, and that was it.
And were you always a fan of horror genre yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not like a super fan. I think I'm more like an average fan. But yeah, the ones that are really great, they draw you in, and they're entertaining.
This is Halloween season, the month that scares people. I want to ask you this fun question. What scares you? What are your phobias?
Folks, let me think about that. No, because I used to own a tarantula. Not really snakes. I'm trying to think. I'm not afraid of heights, but if you stand up pretty high and like look over the edge, that kind of freaks me out a little. That freaks me out.
Last question, sir. What made this slasher movie unique or stand out compared to other slasher movies? A Trick.
Well, I can't really give that away, but it definitely has some unique twists and turns that I think make it stand alone and hopefully make for an interesting franchise.
Tom, I'm a huge fan of yours. Congratulations on Trick.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I love doing this horror stuff, and I love being in this third film with Patrick Lussier.
That's right. What's it like? Is it like
Bloody Valentine 3D and Drive Angry and now Trick.
is it like coming home to a familiar place?
It's like working with a brother. I love him, and I love Todd Farmer, his writing partner. Yeah, it's a treat. It is like family.
What is your role in this film?
My role is I own a diner. I am not a I am the town curmudgeon. And I'm good at it. I'm good at it.
Now, this is Halloween. I want to ask you this fun question. What scares you? What are your phobias? Spiders, snakes.
What frightens me?
We all want to land.
Nothing scares you.
Nothing.
You're the macho.
No.
No,
No, I'm not macho. I don't have any. I don't have any fears.
Awesome.
I don't have any.
Now, before I let you go, what's your advice for aspiring actors that want to be successful in this horror genre like you did?
Grow an Atkins mustache. That's all they have to do.
That's the secret?
Just get lucky, be lucky, and be good. And perseverance. Never give up. Stick with it. Don't ever walk away from it.
Final question, sir. Did you see the Halloween reboot last year? What did you think of it?
The one with Jamie Lee, the latest one, I did not see it, I'm sad to say. So I have no idea what I think of it.
I'm a big fan of your part of the franchise.
I loved the first one. And I love the one we did, Halloween 3, which did not have Michael Myers. A lot of people didn't like that about it, but I thought it was a wonderful standalone kind of movie, and John produced it, Tommy Lee Wallace directed it, and it's a wonderful movie. I just saw it last Friday at a fundraiser in Pittsburgh on an IMAX screen. Huge screen. I never saw my bare ass so big in my life. It was stunning, stunning. And I realized I was good looking back then. I had a brown hair, brown mustache. Yeah, it was great fun. I enjoyed seeing it.
Hey, Jamie, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. I'll hold the mic.
Go.
Congratulations on Trick.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
So, for my fans, what is your character in this film?
I play a doctor who is, whose methods of treating patients might be questionable.
This obviously is not your first foray into horror genre. What made you want to come back to it again and again?
Well, when you get to work with good people, it's a lucky, and then when you get to work with good people who know the genre, like Patrick, it's even better. So he came to me and was very nice and said, I want you to play this part. And I said, yes. When can I start?
Last question, sir. This is Halloween. What scares you? What are your phobias?
About that, Tom.
Snakes.
Do you know what really scares me? people not being able to take a joke in 2019.
That is scary, right?
Right? Soon you're going to hear the words just kidding as extinct.